All throughout the Shrine of Amana, we will fight these clerics who are part of the Archdrake sect from the country of Lindelt. These clerics actually have quite the story behind them, and it makes me curious to see how the other characters we meet from Lindelt are associated with this cult, or if they're just their own separate thing. The Archdrake set reads, Robes of the Archdrake set of Lindelt. Little is known about the Archdrake set and its ancient rituals, and those who dare to indulge their curiosity have been known to simply vanish. The Archdrake sect are the keepers of Lindelt's histories, including the only record of its foundation, a tome they have good reason to keep hidden away. I find this lore really fascinating here, because it shows that Lindelt is a country that is nothing like its former self. There was something horrible that happened back in the ancient times of Lindelt, and the clerics of the Archdrake set are just trying to keep that tradition alive, but they're very secretive and have hidden knowledge about the country's true history. And some of this history is expanded upon in their shield, the Slumbering Dragon Shield. Shield of the Archdrake set of Lindelt. Represents a slumbering dragon, and is intended for use in covert rituals. The fools who woke the slumbering dragon earn not only its ire, but also the destruction of an entire country. The survivors buried their wrongdoings in the past, and in a show of terrible conceit, attempted to make amends by carrying on the knowledge of the wasted land. So we find out here that in the early days of Lindelt, there was a great slumbering dragon who lived within the land, and when the people woke the dragon, it completely destroyed all that they had built and come to love. And it was after this event that the Archdrake set was formed, a hidden group who carried on the ancient traditions of Lindelt, and also buried its history, and carried on the knowledge of the land that was destroyed by the dragon. As for why the Archdrake clerics are in the Shrine of Amana, I'd like to believe it's that they're looking for some remnants of the ancient dragons. There's a lot of arch trees in this area, which was where the ancient dragon lives in the time before the first Age of Fire. So it's my theory that they came here looking for a dragon, but in the process turned hollow, and are now just slaves to the being who controls the Shrine of Amana.
We knew you were coming. And stopped singing. We are Milfinito. We are here to sing to those bound by death and dark. We will sing here forever, as we always have from long, long ago. We know nothing of the world outside. And why should we? For we will never leave. Do you seek King Vendrick? But what is a king, after all? We know nothing of the world outside, for we will never leave here. When we sing, the little ones dance. The little ones grant comfort to those who bear death and dark. This is what we were taught. Is there anything wrong? Perhaps this will help. This is all that we can do.
The Milfinito are very peculiar characters. As their name suggests, they're related to or either offspring of the great dead one, Grave Lord Nito. As this game takes place after Dark Souls 1, Nito has since been vanquished by the chosen undead, but he still has followers and perhaps family that carry out the rules and standards that Nito set. And the Milfanito's main job here in the Shrine of Amana is to sing to the little ones, namely the fireflies that are all around the shrine. When they sing to the little ones, they help grant peace to those affected by death and dark. The Milfanito's dress reads, "Dress worn by a far-gone muse, offers almost no physical defense, but is blessed with high resistance to magic. These enchanting singers were given song by the great dead one, and have little concept of self. They live only to sing, and will continue singing until they can do so no longer." So in that sense, the Milfanito are a little sad in that they have no true concept of self. We run across several of them here in the Shrine of Amana, and if you recall, there is one locked away in a cell back in Drangleic Castle, and it is possible to rescue that Milfanito once we obtain an item from this area. The song of the Milfanito is very sad and melancholy, but it is also a bit peaceful, and also creates an eerie atmosphere for the Shrine of Amana. Later on, we'll meet another group of those tied to Gravelord Nito, and that group helps the people of the land embrace the aspects of death and dark. I have to say, after playing through this game multiple times, I think the Shrine of Amana is one of my favorite areas. I know some people don't really like this area because of the more challenging aspects it contains, but I just think the atmosphere, the design, and indeed the challenge that it provides are all really cool. Any location in the Dark Souls series that has arch trees within it automatically goes up a few points in my book. I love the luminescence of the plants, the watery aspect of the area, and just the crumbling ruins, and I guess everything about this area just is really neat to me. I really think it's well designed, at least from an artistic standpoint. Towards the middle section of the Shrine of Amana, there's a really tough gauntlet that contains Archdrake clerics, Amana priestesses, and sorceresses, and that's usually why many people don't like this area, is because there is that group of enemies that really put your skills to the test, and you really have to be on your toes to get past them. Thankfully, the game does provide some assistance in the form of NPC summons, so you're not entirely on your own so long as you choose to summon them. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the Shrine of Amana has a bad reputation among Sun fans, but I actually rather enjoy this area. I think there's a lot of cool lore and cool just design overall associated with this area of the game. I don't know if I'd say it's my #1 favorite area in the game, but it's definitely quite high. The maidens of the Shrine of Amana carry around the Staff of Amana, which reads, "Staff held by a priestess of Amana. A ritual staff that was not intended for use in battle, but nevertheless it functions as a catalyst for sorceries and hexes. The demon was contained within the shrine by sacred rituals, but over time the tradition was lost, and the demons set free. It gained knowledge and learned to lure humans into its lair using song. So as we can tell from this lore here, we're going to be running up against another demon before long. And it's also a demon that has been influenced by the Milfanito in the area, and so it uses a song to lure in unsuspecting prey. I like how the demon mentioned here shares many aspects of the sirens from Greek mythology. These were creatures who often had beautiful singing voices or shapely bodies and would lure in unsuspecting men to their deaths. While the demon within the shrine isn't a siren per se, it does share some similarities with it, at least in regards to its singing voice. One noticeable difference is the boss of this area is a whole lot uglier than any of the sirens from Greek mythology. So in order to continue pursuing King Vendrick, we're going to have to run into this demon at some point. And before we confront it, we too will hear its song. And with that, we've defeated what is arguably the weirdest looking boss in the entire Dark Souls series. Soul of the Demon of Song at the Shrine of Amana. When this demon developed a taste for human flesh, it was contained within the Shrine of Amana, but the line of priestesses who looked after the shrine and appeased the creature have died off. So many of the priestesses we came into contact over the course of making our way through the Shrine of Amana were either in service to the high priestesses or have just become hollow themselves and have lost any sense of containing this demon. More info on the Demon of Song is in its boss weapon, the Spotted Whip. A whip born from the soul of the Demon of Song, covered with strange spots that betray its poisonous effects. The demon's sonorous voice, in stark contrast to its hideous form, is surely intended to lure people close so that it may devour them. So as you can see, this demon is all about luring people in and then eating said people. Definitely a very bizarre and very creepy demon, but I'm glad we finally put it out of its misery.